I just picked this up. You guys saw this earlier. I used this as the last video on the intros here. I wanted to point this out because it sort of got me off on the tangent for today's topic, which I have not got to yet.
Exercise discipline. But when it comes to girls, oh shit, get a vasectomy because you can't control yourself. The better advice.
All right, this fucking idiot knows damn well what I meant on this, and I'm getting a little fucking tired, by the way, of people want to say, "Oh man, you ruined you when you were in fucking." He debated you. No, that you guys never fucking remember the fact that Sneako decided that he wasn't going to do this debate. And I remember I was on a plane. I was flying into Miami. It was me and Mike were flying into Miami to do this debate between myself, Mike, Sneako, and Destiny. And sometime during the flight, Myron hit me up and said, Sneako's bottling out. He's not going to do the show. He's not going to do the show. And I'm like, fuck, well, whatever. And I didn't say nothing. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I didn't want it to seem like we're sort of beating up on Destiny, although it was kind of fun. But then when I got off the plane and we're getting ready to go do the show, because we did the show like the night I flew in, and then they said, oh no, he at the last minute he's decided to come back on. And in the interim, the 4 hours or so where he had decided he didn't want to do it, and he came back on, he said he did want to do it. He done some video saying why he wasn't going to be on. He was trying to make some sort of excuse video. Nobody fucking remembers that part. No one, none of you fucking critics, none of you asshats who keep throwing the same shit out there. Oh, Sneako this, Sneako that. Sneako didn't do shit. He bottled out, and then he came back on because he knew that if he didn't, that people were going to think less of him. They would lose respect for him. So, and to his credit, he came on with a fresh copy of the Quran, which, by the way, Destiny pointed out that she thought that he bought from like Barnes & Noble, like on the way to the show. But so yeah, I saw the video. Did you see the video?
Falcon punch.
I felt that too, man. I was like, oh, goddamn. But he did lose teeth, or he chipped teeth on that. But anyways, so people don't really realize that. And then on top of that, he stuck around for all of like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. And then he decided he wanted to go do Aiden Ross's show. And I'm like, you can be on this show with me and Mike and Destiny and in front of 30. This is before they got demonetized, 35,000 viewers, which is what it got up. It's 35, 40,000 viewers to go do Aiden Ross's show to the tune of what, 7,000 viewers? But he decided he wanted to bail out. Right. So he bottles out, comes back, and then bails out after that. In fact, people were calling him Sneak Out after that. So let's just put things into perspective here, because I don't think people really remember what really went down during that time.
Instead of saying never again, maybe for the women that I do have sex with, prepare that she could be the mother of your children.
I think
okay. All right. So this is the rationale. Now, first of all, the whole vasectomy tweet had nothing to do with that. Right. As I've said before, it was more about me responding to, well, actually, it was a response to Dr. Richard Reeves, but it came out right after I had watched Brandon Carter talking about what you needed to sacrifice if you wanted the fast track to being a high value man. That's exactly what I said. He knows goddamn well better. And quite honestly, I think Jed should know better as well. I don't know if this is an old clip or this is a new clip. It's something she put on Instagram like 2 days ago. And I thought, man, that'd be a really great topic for a show, because what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing that stoicism and virtue signaling and everything else is starting to be some sort of like form of game. And I wanted to point out really quickly here that, I hear like even Andrew Wilson, who I like and have a great deal of respect for, but I hear him and I hear Rachel Wilson and I hear the rest of these people talking about like, oh, yeah, you've got to be this puritanical thing, like you date with intent, right? No, that's not how it fucking works. Okay. Especially not in the 21st century. It might have worked in the 18th century. It might have worked in like the Rococo period. It might have worked in a high Renaissance. It might have worked in, I don't know, the Midwest during the post-Civil War, 1800s, right? No, it doesn't work that way anymore. In a post-sexual revolution world, people are still struggling to figure out what the fuck they're going to do. And that's why I kept saying, I'm glad you guys brought up the topic of genuine burning desire, right? Or, well, what else did you say here? I still have these loaded, don't I? The idea of obligated compliance versus desire. The thing is like, That's not where it comes from. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but let me let her.
Disciplined man is incredibly sexy. You don't.
No, he's not. The undisciplined man is clearly sexier. Evil is sexy. Evil is sexy. I did a whole show on this about like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And that was the title of the fucking show. Evil is sexy. Dark triad, and I hate to call them dark triad, but we'll look for sake of argument. Dark triad traits are what turn women on. And I wanted to point this out too, because I know this, and I hate to even do this because like Jed is a friend, but like I'm fairly certain that Jed did not get the guy who is her husband now was not the first person she ever had sex with. Okay, and by the way, my wife is not the first person I ever had sex with. I am not the first person she ever had sex with. Okay, so I'm just saying, let's be fucking adults about this, and let's like look at like what is factual. Not what we hope is true, not what we feel ought to be true. Self-discipline is sexy. No, it's fucking not. It's not fucking sexy at all. In fact, those guys don't get pussy. Guys like the Tinder swindler, that dude gets pussy because he's sexy, because that evil is sexy. And I know that's like an unpopular thing to say right now, but it really is. Evil is sexy. Women will prove this to you over and over and over again. And I don't even need studies for this. I mean, we can go and look at TikTok. We can look, well, that chick that we just had on here a little while ago who has the cognitive dissonance. That sounds illogical. Well, I can't believe women think this way. That's chick logic. Yeah, because asshats and fuckers, guys, the hot guy in the foam cannon party is sexy. Why? Because he's not fucking disciplined. Because he's playing to the fucking meta. He stands out. He's a purple cow in a fucking field of brown cows because he's not fucking disciplined. He might be disciplined when a woman is like 40 years old, when she's 32 years old or whatever, when she's just past that average age of first marriage. Yeah, that guy, the self-disciplined guy, he might be, I don't think he's necessarily sexy. He might be more desirable because by that point, women but women are prioritize a guy with a job and a guy with benefits because they understand that their own sexual market value is in decay. It's in decline. So now, of course, women who were at 23 years old, now at 33 years old, telling you how women ought to live, and oh, we're much more intelligent now, we're much more well seasoned, and we're much more. You want to know why women hate it when a guy who's the age of like say Mike Sartain starts banging a girl like Kylie, the age of Kylie? You know why? Because those women know that they missed their fucking shot. They couldn't stick the fucking landing. They're 30, 33, 36, somewhere in there. And they know that guys who are high value guys that they think owe them a better fucking life don't actually owe them a better fucking life. And so what do? They try to shame those guys who will want to get with who they were when they were 23 years old. It's not that hard. It's a curb this fucking high. It's why negging works. You're right. Thank you, Kyle. Yes. All right. Self-discipline is not sexy. Dark triad traits are sexy. Can we at least acknowledge that? Okay.
Want to have a baby with somebody and you don't want that risk, which is always there. Don't sleep with them.
Okay. Well, thanks, Mom. I love you too, Jed. Don't sleep with them. Well, great. You know, here's the thing is like when you're talking about hypergamy cannot, women's hypergamy, only women are hypergamous. So let me explain that to you later. Hypergamy cannot afford to miss out on a golden fucking opportunity. You know why? Because women's sexual market value, their sexual agency is perishable. They don't know when they're going to have another shot at this. That's why women break rules for alphas and they make rules for betas. They make rules for the guy who is clearly the kind of guy that looks like he's boyfriend material. We just saw the fucking video. That's one of many. By the way, I've got that other one where that one chick was talking about. There's three kinds of guys. The guy who gets fucked on the first night. The guy who he can get fucked, but he's not as fun and as exciting as Alpha Chad Boy in the foam cannon party. But there's the guy who has to prove himself and he has to jump through hoops, and he's the guy that women make rules for. And if he qualifies well enough and often enough and with enough consistency, then maybe she'll fuck him, but not to the same intensity or the same level of lust and desire as the guy that was just, we're going to get it no matter what. And then there's the third kind of guy. You want to know who he is? Nobody knows because he's invisible. There's no guy like this. So where is he? Like Mike Sartain says this. He has this one scenario where he was talking to one of these girls, and he goes, "Do you think that guy over there is hot?" And she's like, "Who? Like you mean the guy behind the mailman, the guy behind the guy who's stocking the shelves at CVS? No, the guy who's stocking the shelves at CVS. They don't even see the guy. He's literally invisible." Who? Like they don't like, he's just an NPC, right? Like in this case, literally an NPC. And that is just like when Mike says that, or that video pops up every now and then, people lose their shit on him because he's pointing out a behavior that is very unflattering to women's nature. Now, the whole duplicity side of it, the whole cognitive dissonance side of it, is rooted in the fact that they'll laugh like, "Oh, I guess you're right." Or that woman who was talking about, well, there's the guy who gets it on the first night, and then there's the guy who she's going to make work for it. She's not going to fuck him on the first night because he could be boyfriend material, but you would think it would be the opposite way around, right? It's not. And you know what she'll do when she's confronted with that or she's held accountable? That nervous laugh. I guess we're all like that. That's how. You want to know when a woman is in a position or in a state of cognitive dissonance? Just listen for the laugh. Just listen for the giggle. That's just how we are.
When there's no joke.
Yes, when there's no joke. Exactly. When no joke has been said and somebody has called her to the carpet, that little nervous laugh comes up, then you'll know what's going on. So anyways, also, and I hope I get a chance to talk to Jed about this. Again, I'm not trying to run up the flagpole. I love Jed. But this is the difference between approximate goal and an ultimate goal. Well, and even fucking Sneeko makes the same fucking mistake here, right? Trust me, Sneeko wants to fuck girls as much as any guy wants to fuck girls. Probably more so, because what is he, 25 now? Something like that. Like, Kyle, how old are you?
I am 22.
22. Kyle wants to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle wants to fuck a lot.
And I fuck.
He wants to fuck, okay? That's a proximate goal or proximate outcome. And I have to give you another family story here. When I met my wife in a club, which you're not supposed to meet there, you'll never meet any quality women at the club, Rolo. Literally met my wife at a gig, at a club, at the bar, at the club. You'll never find anyone of quality here. 20 coming up on 28 years. Thank you. Well, things were different back in the 90s. No, women are still pretty much the same fucking firmware. But the example here is that's approximate goal. So when I saw my wife for the first time, I was like, I didn't go, I could have a baby with her. What? Nobody thinks this way. Nobody. You know what? I'm dating with intent. That girl over here with the long blonde hair and a nice, perfect ass. No, I can't. I've got to go back and read Psalms.
You know who does that? Men with no options. Men
with no options. Yes, exactly. And so when I'm seeing, self-discipline was like the furthest thing from my fucking brain, right? But the thing is like when I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, I wasn't thinking, oh, she'll be a great mother for my kids. No, I'm like, I want to tap that ass. And that was the proximate goal. Sorry, my wife still looks good. I still want to tap that ass, honey. But the proximate goal is I want to have sex with this person. The ultimate outcome is we reproduce, we start a family, we have kids, we raise kids. That's the ultimate outcome. No one starts there. No one, Sneeko, you child. No one starts there. And even Jed did not start there. I am 100% certain that and by the way, Jeremy's a great guy. Her husband, fantastic dude, right? I am fairly confident in presuming that he was probably not the first that she ever got with, because they didn't get married. They didn't like have a kid until she was like 41. So there had to have been a time where it was like, I really want to get with this guy and I really want to fuck this guy, just because she didn't have kids or didn't have a child with the guy. Well, was that because you're like, you know, I could really have a kid with this person? No one thinks this way. Not in the moment, that's for damn sure.
Allow yourself to engage at that level of intimacy with people who you really care about, who you've got.
Again, proximate goal, ultimate goal. You should be having sex with people. Well, ideally, sure, but that's not how we do things. People want to fuck. Like, why can't people just want to fuck? I'm so sick of this shit. Like, there's got to be some cosmic, juju, sending, what is it? The law of attraction energy crystals out into the fucking universe. And people want to fuck. That's all. You want to know why I was put that pornography thing in there with that one guy was talking about how dangerous pornography is, right? Well, yeah, because people want to fuck. If they didn't, it wouldn't be dangerous. If it didn't, it wouldn't be an addiction. It wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be oxytocin, and it wouldn't be fucking progesterone, and it wouldn't be fucking what's the dopamine? Yes, but there's endorphins. What's the other one? Prolactin. Prolactin. Look it up. Prolactin is the real enemy. You want more prolactin? You want shorter refractory time? Prolactin is your friend. So
That's something going on with where if someone got pregnant, that's a responsibility and a burden that you'd be willing to bear and a joy.
I'm fairly certain this came out after Fresh's incident.
Quite frankly, ultimately, because a baby is always a blessing. I will tell you that.
You need to exercise discipline.
Okay. Sneeko, get off my fucking stage here. Thank you. All right. So the whole thing about, get a vasectomy. He's like, the dude completely distorted this because his audience wanted him to distort this. When I said get a vasectomy, of course, it was tongue in cheek. And again, it was a means to an end. If there was some other way to protect yourself against being baby trapped, like, I don't know, Fresh Prince CEO, if there was some way to have a reversible vasectomy or something like that, who wouldn't? Why wouldn't you do that? If there was and I know, and people are going to go, Rolo, don't you know about Vasagel? It's not Vagisil, Vasagel. Two very different things. Don't you know about that? Yes, I know don't you know they're working on a male pill? Yeah, still waiting. I've been doing this for 20 some odd years. We have been having this discussion about a male birth control pill or some sort of hormonal, some sort of like chemical birth control pill. As long as I have been writing in the manosphere, 22 some odd years, still waiting on my fucking pill. Where's my fucking Vagisil? Where's my Vasagel? Well, you got to get a shot in the nuts. Oh, fine. Can I reverse it? Can I not reverse it? I'm like, at my stage of life, it doesn't matter. And no, I don't actually have a vasectomy. I've still got active swimmers, and I'm ready to rock. What do you got here?